Let's take a look at another Michael Rapaport video. He actually puts production into this. This is like
not so much him putting production as like the state of Israel paying him.
Exactly.
to make the worst content in the world.
Someone tweeted out a video of Hillary Clinton making comments about mass rape on October 7th. And I quote tweeted it and said, more women have accused your husband of rape than they've accused Hamas of rape. And he jumped in the comments and just put a link to this very interesting video. Let's take a look.
All right, everybody knows that sports is really about the wings. Buffalo wings, spicy wings, hot wings. So I got some folks here. We're going to try some fantastic wings with. Who are you guys?
I'm Dylan. I'm from University of PC. Go Humbacks.
All right. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Margaret, and I'm a housewife and mother to 4 angels.
Well, I cannot wait for you guys to try some of these wings. Let's get into it.
God, this is such a long way to go for this joke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
This is awful.
That's right. Because these are new Hamas Hot Wings, 100% pure shit. How do they taste?
Like shit.
That's right, because everything Hamas has been feeding you is shit. And these wings are 100% pure grass-fed Hamas shit.
Are these like, is this like actual shit that I'm eating?
Yes, that is actual shit you are eating. No, don't stop now. You've been eating that Hamas shit for so long. And while you've been eating that shit, civilians are still in captivity. There is no excuse for raping, kidnapping, and murdering. Hamas is full of shit, and anybody who tells you otherwise is also full of shit. Listen, if you want some Hamas shit, go on social media, go to a rally. It's everywhere. Try it. You can use as much as you want, from the river to the sea. Now go ahead, wipe that Hamas shit off your mouth. Don't touch my napkin.
Hamas is full of shit. Don't swallow it.
Written by who?
Yeah, all right.
Written by Lee Kern.
Oh my gosh, look at all the people involved in this.
It took you guys, that takes a lot of talent and a lot of coordination. You think you wake up one morning and decide to do that? No, that takes months.
Why is there a 35-person crew for a sketch where it's one joke and it's Hamas is bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that till at the very end. You guys saw all the people.
Who puts credits at the end of a video?
That was the whole production.
Again, it's that delusional self-confidence where you actually think people want their names on it. If I had done that, I'd be like, I'll do this on one condition. You don't put my name in the credits.
I love needing your name in the credits. That is
video. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, let's take a look at this. The writer of this guy Lee Kern, who wrote the screenplay to Borat 2, and he one of about 9 different people who are credited. One of the crew, yeah.
Yes.
And he, like Michael, he has an equally openly bigoted and racist worldview.
Yes.
That is a little bit weird. There's something like he looks too young for it. Not that he looks young, but
yeah, I was like, what?
He's like, I can't explain it though. His bigotry is like, it's presented in a way that older people usually do it.
Right. Well, he's British.
He's British, I guess. Yeah. So let's take a look at Lee Kern.
Hey, so the Arab and Muslim world thinks that if they just constantly harass Israel and commit awful crimes, get Israel now and then, and just act like fucking dicks, and do October the 7th, and fire rockets, and just be like generally fucking knobends. Right? The Arab and Muslim world just think if they just keep doing it and keep doing it, that will somehow get fatigued and walk away and leave Israel, and that'll be done. Then they can come here and, create some Islamic state crap hole, theocratic shithole. They think that's what's going to happen.
Is that what I think?
Do you dicks even understand the Jewish story? Do you understand? You think we're going to run out of endurance and stamina? You do understand that 2000...
By the way, all the like sexual, social, psychosexual projection is pretty clear in that run out of endurance and stamina. Like, you need to work on your issues, and then maybe your worldview of politics will be clearer. But
also, what is just his argument too, where he's just like, you think a Jews just gonna go away? You think they're gonna leave? And it's like, Yeah, man, the history of Jews is is that
kind
we get
pogrom,
kicked out of places.
It's pogrom heavy.
Yeah.
We've kind of leaned into the pogrom.
Yeah, I don't even know what history you're talking about here. You're just talking about Israel right now. Yeah. Another place apparently we were also kicked out of. Isn't that the whole premise of the coming back? What are you talking about?
In our indigenous home of Israel, the Romans kicked the majority of us out, while some remain, but the majority of Jews went into...
Wait, you just said that we never leave. Okay, and now you're going to go through the history of all the
You think you can just kick us out? Yeah, you can, but not for long. Only a few thousand years.
2,000 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
And do you understand for 2,000 years the Jewish people maintained all their rituals, customs, traditions, and identity and connection to Israel, which is absolutely fused with every aspect of Jewish identity and peoplehood, from the prayers that are said.
The modern state of Israel is not fused with the identity of Judaism from before the modern state of Israel existed.
To the Hebrew language, to the calendar.
Hebrew language is modern Hebrew. It
was made up.
2,000 years we had endurance to maintain who we are, with connection to the land that we were dispossessed of. 2,000 years. And so you think just because you come and act like a bunch of little pricks firing rockets or being cockends now and then, just trying to murder and kill a dick, you think you're going to wear us out and we'll run out of stone?
Well, certainly you have worse allegations.
Decades of this crap.
Certainly you have worse allegations, and it's like a bunch of dickheads, a bunch of noobs, a bunch of bellends, and it's like, wait, you're not genociding people because they're bellends, are you?
Right.
Let's pack it in and walk away and let these cunts take over this land. It's not going to happen. You don't understand Jews at all. It's so amazing. It's absolutely astonishing how much so many Muslims and Arabs have no idea about the Jewish soul or character or identity or who we are. You really are clueless. It's astonishing.
It is.
And you think you do. You keep...
Please stop presenting the Zionist soul, by the way. Like, I don't want anyone to think that that's the Jewish soul.
Well, see,
like,
this
what
is...
Israel is doing.
Yes.
Please dissociate that from Jewishness. Like,
and I'm sorry, but this right here is a perfect example of just the disdain that Zionists have for Jews and Jewish history and the history of Jews in the diaspora.
Right.
That like this? He's saying like you don't understand Jews. What he means is like you don't understand Zionists.
Exactly.
Like because like Jews have been kicked out. We've been kicked out of fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Zionists. Like the whole tradition of anti-Zionist Jewry.
Yes.
Like lots of Jews didn't want Zionism for various reasons.
Right, because kicking us out is
and then you have like Orthodox Jews who, for very different reasons, sometimes overlapping reasons, but oppose the state of Israel.
Yes. And it's just like this idea where he's like talking about this Jewish history of like never backing down and whatnot. It just shows this disdain. It frames the mass expulsion of Jews throughout Europe and throughout, the world as weakness. It frames it as something to be ashamed of.
Right.
And that's the whole Zionist thing, is this idea of like these disgusting diaspora Jews who are willing to live in a place where they are the minority as opposed to like colonizing place and making
becoming a demographic majority artificially.
Yeah.
Because there were Jews living there, and there was relative harmony. And the problem was when they wanted to become a demographic majority, which people didn't want to have happen because they didn't want their rights to be trampled on, which is exactly what happened. But
and facilitated by Brits like him.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
Fucking British people.
Be nasty fucking dicks to us and bully us. That you're so when you don't know us, it's amazing. It's the same way that you're always just online trying to tell people who and what we are. You're clueless. You're trying to say what Zionism is and blah, blah, blah. It really is astonishing.
They live it, you fucking asshole. They know, Palestinians know what Zionism is because their lives are shaped by it.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? You don't know. You live in England. I mean, you know because you're an ideologue, but you don't experience this.
Yes.
I had your confidence to be as stupid as you are.
You know what, buddy? You do.
Yeah, you do.
you have so much confidence.
You do.
Confidence being stupid in my life. I would do astonishing things. But I muddle on. I do the best I can. We carry on. We endure for 2,000 years. We can go a little bit longer. So keep it coming, you fucking pricks, you mugwump twats. God bless. Baruch Hashem.
He looks like such a serial killer.
Dude, the motherfucker looks like a Benjamin Button-ass baby. He's aging fucking backwards. He's got the brains of a child. And he's just like taking his little worm face and being like, I think I'm going to be the face of British Zionism, yeah? Fucking guy.
We actually have another video of Lee Kern. Let's take a look at this other video, Brad. Wink, wink. Lee Kern
Me was
video.
writing Borat too, yeah. I realised something.
That's Matt, everyone, in case you can't tell.
Palestinians the most racist society I've ever seen, yeah? All right, so first of all Palestinians are racist, all of them. It's in their blood, see? It's inside their blood, it's in their bones. Everything that they think and do is racist, yeah? It's in their DNA, deep down inside their DNA, right? They are inherently anti-Semitic. They say, oh, in Israel, the Jews run the banks, the Jews run the media, the Jews run the government. I've never heard something so racist in there. They think they have a right to the land, yeah? They think because they used to live here a long time ago, they think that they could just come back. They want a right of return for all the people in the diaspora to come back to the land, yeah? I've never heard something so crazy. People from America, from Great Britain, all of a sudden living in the Middle East. Just completely ridiculous, yeah? The David Beckham fish and chips. I can't think of something so ridiculous. We got to take out Hamas. We got to take them out because they do not value civilian life. They don't value nothing, you see. They don't see a difference between a combatant and a civilian, and that's absolutely horrible. That's why we have to take out Hamas. Who's Hamas? Every man, woman, and child inside of Gaza. That's right, all of them together.
That's so, like, that point is so true that we value life. We Jews value life, and Muslims and Palestinians don't. They don't value life. They're obsessed with death. And we're enlightened and liberal and open-minded and care about civilians, which is why we have to kill all of them.
Yeah.
Including every woman and child, because they're going to grow up to be terrorists. And that's why we are enlightened and they are backwards, death obsessed in a death cult.
It's one of the reasons why, you know, when they talk about like dismantling Hamas, killing Hamas and whatnot, you just know that Hamas is this nebulous thing within, you know, the kind of Zionist psyche where like there are people who are in Hamas, of course. But you ask just any Zionist about like show them an image of a dead Palestinian in Gaza and they will say, all Israel has to do is tell me that's Hamas and I will feel nothing.
Right.
It's like it allows them, it gives them the, you know, the permission to be completely heartless and genocidal because you have created this entire image in your head of like Gaza as a place that's all Hamas because they voted for them, right? You know, in 2006.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you have like Alan Dershowitz saying that they voted for them so that they all deserve to die. It's like there were first of all, there shouldn't be the death penalty for voting a certain way.
No, that's like literally what the whole thing about like secular democracy and stuff like that. Right. Like you're allowed to vote for who the fuck you want.
But also half of them, like it wasn't even, again, this doesn't even matter, but just to concede this ridiculous argument, it was like not a huge majority that they got. 40%. And there were kids and people who didn't vote. I mean, just like the fact that we're even saying this is just so ludicrous.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous argument, and it's like, and if you're going to make it, you have to also reckon with the fact that there was one election in 2006, and the majority of the people in Gaza were not alive
right.
when the election happened.
And you have to be okay with the fact that if you would have to be okay with people saying that maybe half of Americans should get killed for voting for
exactly
Trump.
Right.
Like,
or for Netanyahu. Maybe half of Israel. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
like
the most
if we're gonna
savage, pseudo liberal enlightened shit.
They can never put it on the other foot. That's what drives me insane. Like, how can you not put the shoe on the other foot? So should we blow up all of Texas because Texas voted for Trump and Ken Paxton?
Right. It's why, and it's so funny because I see it a
all
lot with
Israelis responsible for every single death that happens.
Right.
Because that's what they say.
Right.
There
Yes.
are no innocent civilians in Gaza.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
by
there
that
actually
logic, there's no
are
one
a
is
lot more of them are actually in the military. So if you want to play that game, it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
I always say that too, because they'll be like, oh, well, because of this and this and because of Hamas and October 7th. I'm like, okay, but if you want to play that game,
Right.
you could say that October 7th was a response
Of course.
to what
Yeah.
Israel has been doing to the Palestinians.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And I mean, you know, Hamas has served as the perfect excuse to allow what would, I think, otherwise be a little bit more conscientious people, a little bit more moral people, to completely drop any pretense of being like moral or just, because it's that's the whole reason for their existence. Like, you ask people about like, you know, the blockade that happened, the siege of Gaza that's been going on for 17 years, that happened after Hamas won an election, which observers said was free and fair.
Yeah.
Whether or not that's true,
Jimmy Carter did. Yeah.
yeah, but it was an actual election, and then Israel and the United States did not accept the election results. They tried to concoct they tried to do a Fatah-led coup.
Right.
The coup attempt failed, and they've done a siege ever since. Like, the siege of Gaza is justified by, well, Hamas bad. This entire thing is justified based on a premise that in a democracy, you would say, oh, that sounds anti-democratic.
Right.
Like, if your whole thing is we're the only democracy in the Middle East, or we're the only people who are culturally respect democracy, and then you see an election not go your way, and you decide every single voter must die or must be starved or must be, you know, trampled under our boots, then clearly you are not as democratic of a people than you purport to be.
You're also not a democracy if you're a Jewish state.
Right. Yeah, I know.
There's that too. But also, like, they love saying, look, we pulled out of Gaza and look what happened, as if they did that as an act of altruism.
Right.
We actually know that, first of all, they control everything that goes in and out. And there's a siege.
Yes.
But also they did that. We know this from like a top advisor of then President or then Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, who said that the disengagement plan was formaldehyde for the peace process.
100%.
Like, they did that to stop the peace process.
And not only that, but like they also used it. It was part of their Hasbara. Like, one of the biggest you know, like Hasbara talking points around this time was around was pieces of media of settlers being expelled from their homes. That was like, that was a highly choreographed media stunt for Israel and Israeli propaganda to show, like, you know, look at this. And it was to also to rile up the people inside of Israel, inside the West Bank, and make them be more firm than ever that we are never, ever leaving this. And no, it is not a politically viable position to be like, settlers should leave the occupied territories. And, you know, so it's like, you know, the whole premise of Gaza as like a sovereign entity that should have, you know, they could have had, you know, nightclubs, and they could have had, you know,
Gay
people taking, you know, 2CI, you know, getting their dick sucked,
But
like near the beach.
But if people talk about that, you'll like people get fired and like people like lose their job. And yet all these Zionists and stuff, nothing happens to them. If you're an outsider who didn't really know that much about this and you read it, it sounds insane.
Right. Yes.
It sounds insane.
Like conspiracy theorists, right?
100%.
Yeah, but also just like crazy as in like, how is this happening?